Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Well, good evening, my beautiful people of YouTube. It is nice to see you this evening. Oh, shit. Let's not knock over the lamp. Forgot to turn the lamp on. I hope everybody's having a great evening, a great Friday evening. I think we have something to celebrate. I really do. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover true crime, and we have... we have a lot, and I mean a lot to celebrate. And we have good news. Ooh, I almost forgot. How in the world do I forget these things? Before we get started on Emmanuel, okay, we do know that the dirty, rotten scoundrels that he had to call parents, and actually didn't even get a chance to call them parents because he was 7 months old. He didn't get an opportunity to speak. His dirty, dirty, disgusting mother and father are clink, 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 baby. Clink, clink, clink. I didn't have a chance to go live because I realized the E's were online and they were breaking this as we spoke. I wasn't in their chat. I didn't hear it from them, but people from their chat was reaching out to me to tell me the breaking news. So I didn't go live on YouTube. I actually ended up doing something over on TikTok. And so I ended up bringing that over. But by the time it was on YouTube, obviously, the word got around. The word spread. The word spread this afternoon. Because over here on the East Coast, when all of this was going down, it was at the top of 11 a.m. So while we were getting on with our day, most of us getting ready to take a lunch break or something like that, they're busting down the gate and plowing into the house and taking mom and dad out in cuffs. I'm sure it was an absolute beautiful sight, and we had an opportunity to see a little bit of that. But that wasn't the only good news here this evening. I know some of you guys probably haven't been with me long enough to know about Lester Isbill. Let me make sure I got this. Oops, I need to go to my channel. Hold on a second. I wanted to play you guys a story about Lester because we got an update today. A very, very powerful update. And I wanted to go over that with you. So let me pull this up. We got this. Is this ready? All right. Where can I get this? It's going to bother some of the audience just a little bit, but I think you guys are going to be at least happy a little bit about, there's nothing that's going to, I'll let you guys watch this video, get caught up with it, and then I'll explain it to you here in just a second.
Man named Lester Isbill. He was 74 years old, a retired preacher, a father, a friend. On February 6, 2025, he entered a small payday loan office in Madisonville, Tennessee, confused, disoriented, and in the middle of a serious medical crisis. He walked in needing help, but he didn't walk out. This is the story of why they are protesting June 3rd, 2025, tomorrow. It started like any normal afternoon. Lester went to Security Finance, a local payday loan business, to make a payment. But the employee there, especially one named Tracy, could tell something was wrong. Lester looked confused. He wasn't making sense. Tracy became so concerned she called 911. On that day, she explained that she had an elderly customer who seemed extremely disoriented. She even told dispatchers she didn't think he should be driving. She wasn't sure if he had dementia, low blood sugar, or something else, but she knew this man needed medical attention. 911 relayed the call, telling first responders to expect an elderly man who was confused, possibly suffering from dementia and in need of assistance. Both EMS and Madisonville police officers were dispatched. When they arrived around 2:30 p.m., EMS evaluated Lester. His vitals were alarming. Blood pressure, 218 over 110. Oxygen level, 89%. Respiratory rate, elevated. He was zoning in and out of consciousness. EMS said it looked like a hypertensive crisis, possibly a stroke or a heart issue in the making. They warned Lester about the seriousness of his condition. His own daughter begged them to take him to a hospital. She said he'd had episodes before, that he needed care.
This is going to become shocking.
Instead of getting him an ambulance bed, they wrote him off as
That's him right
uncooperative,
there.
and they labeled him disorderly. They had him arrested. At this point, Lester should have been in an ER, but instead he was handcuffed and being taken to the Monroe County Jail. Surveillance and body cam footage shows officers and jail staff forcibly dragging him from the cruiser.
And this is what I
and
could
into
show
a
you
holding
guys.
cell. Within minutes of being placed into the cell, Lester collapsed, falling headfirst into a concrete bench. He hit his head hard. He didn't get up, and still, no medical care was provided. Instead of checking his injuries, they strapped him to a restraint chair, They wrapped his arms, legs, and neck and left him there. They left him there for 9.5 hours until he died. No food, no water, no bathroom breaks, no medical checks. And there's footage, disturbing footage, of
Again,
Lester with a hood over his
this
head,
is what I could show
sitting
you.
slumped in that chair. Eventually, his body gave out, and Lester died right there in the Monroe County Jail. As you can imagine, this family is devastated, and rightfully so. This wasn't a criminal. This was an elderly man, a grandfather, a father, a friend, a man in crisis, a preacher, but above all else, a human being. He needed help, and instead he got punishment. He needed compassion. Instead he got confinement. And when his body couldn't take any more, he died alone, ignored, and restrained. No one has been held accountable. That's why on Tuesday, June 3rd at 9 a.m., the community is gathering outside the Monroe County Justice Center in Madisonville, Tennessee, to demand justice for Lester Isbill. This is not just a protest. It's a remembrance. It's a call for reform. And it's a demand for accountability. It is hard to think a grandfather and a pastor, a man of God, could ever be treated like this by a law enforcement body that was there to protect people like him. We need justice, and we're asking for anybody that can attend to please attend. God bless you.
Hey guys,
Okay,
here
hold
on the Tiki Talk,
We don't
Bullhorn
need to-
Betty, covering true crime.
We don't want the ticky talk. We don't want the ticky talk. We just wanted the video. We wanted the video. I just wasn't quick enough, okay, guys? I didn't. Yes, sad case. Horrible case. Horrible case. Hardly anybody was really talking about this case. We ran one story on this case. It was picked up a little bit by local media. They did have some success at the protest on June 3rd. So I wanted you guys to hear it because, quite frankly, it's highly disturbing for... Oh, Dad, burn it. It's highly disturbing for me. That is a highly disturbing show of humanity. You know, this is what I said. It's tough watching those jail staff stand there and taunt him. I think that was the most disgusting and deplorable of humanity. That's like the top of the top. If you saw there was like several jail staff, but there was also the nurse. The nurse is standing there. Just poor display of humanity. It's just sickening. It's just really sickening to watch. But we have an update on that. That's the whole purpose of me going through this whole, situation here. Give me just a second. Let me try to get the ad up. It's going to take a second to load. I think we'll have a couple second ad that may pop up. But this is a highly disturbing story. Yeah. Oh, that's loud. Oh, that's loud. Okay. Let me pause this. Okay. So I'm about to put up, this is his daughter. And she was there on the scene when he was disoriented. And she actually thought that he was going to be going to the hospital, and then she finds out he's charged with disorderly, which, as you can imagine, as a daughter, when you see your father in crisis and then hear something like that, it's horrible. But I wanted you guys to read this, okay, because this is not the right one. Oh my gosh, I think they changed the name of the title of this I think they changed the title. I will be, if this is the truth, hold on, let me check one thing here. They revised the title. It says, amended autopsy report now calls the death of Monroe County Lester Isbill a homicide. That was the original title to this article right here. And now it changes to DA to seek charges following updated report about man's death while in Monroe custody. How do you like them apples? How do you like them apples? Since about, I don't know, I'll tell you when this was sent to me. This was sent to me at 4:30. So within 4 hours, this news organization has changed the title from amended autopsy report now caused the death of the Monroe County man restrained in a chair a homicide. And so I was reading it, and it was talking about how the medical examiner has amended the autopsy report to indicate that he lost his life by homicide, i.e. the people at the jail were 100% responsible for why he lost his life, that it was now homicide. And it looks like from then to now, they are starting to adjust, they're starting to work with this is why I don't like mainstream media. Right here is why I don't like mainstream media. I am looking at the original thumbnail from the text I received, and it says 10 investigates amended autopsy report now calls death of Monroe County man restrained in chair a homicide. This is nuts. I now that they've changed the article, every time I click on that, this one comes up. So that means that they may have altered the article than what I originally read. But that's where we're at. This is some good news. And even if they have to modify the title of this article for whatever reason, probably because they got the call from the sheriff or the district attorney and said, we don't like what you wrote. If you don't have your reporter retracted, we're going to do this and we'll never talk to you again. And so the board of directors goes, yeah, we're going to have to, amend that article. Yeah, we know it's true, but we got to soften it up. So the Monroe District Attorney General Steve, the whole thing's been changed. The original story has been modified. Told WBIR on Friday afternoon he plans to present a criminal case to the grand jury as soon as September in the death of the 74-year-old Tellico Plains man, but he still looks like he's going for charges against the people. Plains man held more than 9 hours in a restraining chair by Monroe County Sheriff's Office personnel. By the way, this is also in Tennessee. If you guys have been following me, we'll get on to the breaking news with Emmanuel, but this is also breaking news for our channel as well. So if you're not here, we ran a story on this man back in June, and this is the update for that story that we ran back in June. Hatchett's decision follows the release of a revised report from the regional. Okay, so they did at least keep that in there. In February, in the death of Lester, a retired preacher was in the custody and care of the sheriff's office as he lost consciousness and stopped breathing while confined for hours in a chair on February 26, 2025. So this is a very recent case. It's just, it's not one that gets a whole lot of attention. I respect the opinions of the Regional Forensic Center in its initial reports, and I have been working diligently to determine what justice is in this case, Hatchett said. I respect the findings in this amended report and will be presenting the matter to the grand jury. So there actually might be some indictments related to the officers. It was a poor display of humanity. No matter how you look at what we saw people mocking him. He was in distress before he ever got there. He should have never been in their custody. They should have taken him straight to the hospital. His daughter thought that they basically Baker acted him. She was calling the hospital waiting for her father to show up. and then come to find out that he's in jail. And she's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? So let's go up here, and I want you guys to hear her. She's a sweet person, and she's brokenhearted. There's no other excuse for that. And then we'll move on to the story.
But over and over every day.
Monroe County Communications.
We have an elderly customer, and he's got health issues, and he's very disorientated right now.
Is he wanting an ambulance?
No, he's not wanting anything. We're afraid to let him drive. He's very disorientated right now. He's 75. They may know him. It's Elijah Isbill.
74-year-old Elijah Lester Isbill, born and raised in Monroe County.
He had a loving, giving heart. He was a cheerful giver.
His name, Elijah, fitting, as he preached more than 30 years. Isbill is declining in health. He has shown signs of early dementia, has diabetes, and a history of hypertension.
Security Finance. They have an elderly male there that's very...
So, I'll leave this here because this is a 15-minute, I guess, report. So we don't have time to finish up that report. So if you guys would like to see it, I did just drop it in the chat. But the one key takeaway here is he was called in as needing medical assistance. You heard it. His daughter arrived saying he has been, disoriented before. They were concerned to let him behind the wheel of the car in this disoriented behavior he was having, and they take him to jail. I just want you to get the gravity of the incompetence. Do you know how many sheriffs or police stations across the state of Tennessee we've had discussions similar to this? Maybe not to this extent where, the person lost their life. But this is not the first time that we've had Tennessee arresting people that haven't committed a crime. There's been articles and articles about the DUIs that have been going on all over the state of Tennessee, where people are literally being picked up when they're not even under the influence. Like, they had no drinks. They're not substance abuse users. They don't get behind the wheel drinking. Literally 100% sober. 100% sober. We have a lot of problems in Tennessee, and it's starting to really drive me nuts. But this one is in Madison County, Tennessee. This is on the other side of the Tennessee. We got problems in Hawkins County, East Sullivan County. We got problems in Sumner County, and all the way over in Madison County too. Just literally, it's just stretched across the state of Tennessee. So we're going to get out of the state of Tennessee, and everybody knows we have a baby boy that is still missing out there right now. He's 7 months old. His parents were just arrested and picked up for his homicide. Okay? They have arrested the parents on suspicion of murder. When I first reported this earlier today about their arrest, which was around 11:20 or 11:30, I think, is when I was going live on TikTok this morning, we didn't have an idea of what the actual arrest was, because they had really kind of a smorgasbord of ideas of possibility of low-hanging fruit is what this channel refers to, the Coffee Club family refers to as, small charges just to get them off the streets today. Nothing that's going to keep them behind bars for long, but something to apply a little pressure is what we call low-hanging fruit. And for them, I believe we did have some low-hanging fruit. For example, Jake was on probation. He clearly violated probation. That was an easy go get him and take him to jail. And quite frankly, with those circumstances, he should have been immediately taken to jail because he was already a violation. He had already violated his probation, and he should not have been walking out on the streets. He should have actually been behind bars for that violation. I don't know what's going on in California, where it seems like all these violent crimes are being slow walked through their justice system. He has children at home. He has been a convicted child abuser with of intentional cruelty, of all things. Intentional child cruelty, and you've got him carrying a gun by a convicted felon, and that's still not, that's back in 2024. And for some reason, in California, that's not enough to put somebody in jail. I want that to sink in. While San Bernardino police or sheriff's department has the uphill battle of putting this nightmare together and trying to find a way to present this to a court, it could have all been totally preventable if the courts and everything prior to this event was working properly in California. And we cannot forget that. While we do appreciate law enforcement because they got this right, they've been working their butts off. They deserve attaboy and kudos. And you know, do I expect them to do it perfect? No. But did they get the job done? Yes, they did. And that's what we expect in our country with our laws. But my point is, did he really have to sleep in his bed with his pillow for 7 days? Couldn't we have made that a little more uncomfortable for him? You know, that's the problem I have. So, anyways, we know that they have been arrested. We do have several updates. So I'm going to start off with the most bombshell information. This was just released by News Nation just a little bit ago. And I think it's within the first, 30 seconds of this. And this is really something that made me go,
Out of Southern California, police thought something didn't add up, and now the parents of a missing 7-month-old baby are under arrest, facing charges of murder. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Police continue to search for the body of 9-month-old Emmanuel Haro tonight.
There she is, the perp walk. The perp walk. The perp walk.
Sources tell News Nation that police believe the father killed the baby, and they say it happened inside the home. Sources tell us
Okay, guys, we are going to find out that blood that we heard, the little bit of blood, guys, it wasn't a little bit of blood. It was a whole mess of blood. Remember what I told you. I know this is going to be hard for you guys. What we're about to learn is, remember, if you guys have been watching me for several days, I told you how the arrest would come. Okay, we watched this enough. We're kind of in the know about what to expect. And everybody asked me, would they be willing to do a circumstantial case? And I said, fortunately, we're in California. They're very skillful in circumstantial cases. Believe it or not, I'm very confident that if California has a circumstantial case, they will bring it forward. You don't see me say a whole lot of great things about California. I'm just not a California fan, okay? I'm sorry. I love my people from California that love me. I've never been to your state. I know that my family's from your state. Part of my family's from your state. They've moved back to Florida. Well, they moved from they were California and they became Floridians. But I'm just not a fan. I'm a fan of the beauty, and I know that you guys got a beautiful state. So I'm glad you guys appreciate it, but I don't like 2 or 4 hour traffic jams and stuff like that. I'm a Floridian, okay? I drive fast and I like to move. Okay, so I'm just not a fan. No offense, just not a fan. So I don't have a whole lot of nice things to say about California. But this San Bernardino, they've got nothing. They've got no beef. I've got no beef with them, okay? They did an amazing job, in my opinion. I don't expect them to be perfect. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, cops out here that might say, I would have done it this way, I would have done it that way. I'm not a cop. I'm just an average Joe. And from an average Joe perspective, when we have a crime happen, we want it nipped in the bud as quickly as possible, and we want the injustice right. When it can't, we want people in jail. This is beyond an injustice. This is the most despicable of our humanity right here. Okay, the most despicable. That woman is the most despicable. And I feel, you know what? I'm sorry. But I'm almost more angry with her because she made me feel bad for her. You know what I mean? Does anybody understand that aspect of it? Like, I'm pissed. Because I actually had to come to Jesus with myself because of her her being a beaten woman. But even my people in here that have been abused and had to make the tough decision to save their children, they put me in my check place. They put me in perspective. My heart was bleeding for this woman, and they're like, "Whoa." Some of them gave me tough love. Can we finally get an amen? Amen, Queen of Hypes. Amen. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. I'm about to say it. I think Sumner County, I would say, come here to Polk County, learn from the professionals. But I don't know. San Bernardino's shining out there. Maybe Sumner County, Tennessee needs to go to Cali. Maybe they need to go to the Gold Coast and get a tan. Maybe they'll learn a little more about policing and how to investigate, crap parents that do crap things to their children. Instead of being such pushovers and a joke of a police department. And I just want to say, the Sumner County beat cops that are out there and the ones that work under these assholes, I got no qualm with you. God bless you. God bless you for keeping the streets safe. I can tell you're underappreciated in Sumner County because it sounds like good cops are few and far between. Just saying. Just saying. But look at that. What a beautiful sight. No? I think we need to just go back a hair. I'm sorry. I want to watch it again. Ooh. That is a pretty sight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a beautiful sight. When we're dealing with a situation that we're dealing with a 7-month-old kid, I'm telling you, a 7-month-old baby, I'm telling you, this is the best possible outcome. This is the best possible outcome right here. The best possible outcome. And somebody corrected me today. I was actually surprised about this. Guys, I was incorrect about DP in California. They do have DP in California. Linda, it's nice to see you. Thank you for subscribing. I was unaware of that. It's just that they've taken a back seat on enforcing it. They've never wiped it off the books. They've never wiped it off the books. Somebody corrected me on that. I think it might have been Vinnie Politan. I think wasn't he the one that was just talking about it today? I'm pretty sure. I think it might have been Vinnie Politan that went over it. As a matter of fact. Might have been. I'm not sure. Let's keep listening. But what a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight.
We have 9-month-old Emmanuel Haro tonight.
Suck it.
Sources tell News Nation that police believe the father killed the baby.
Oh, don't turn your head, baby. You didn't mind having your face up all in that damn screen when you wanted to fake those tears. Oh, honey, no. Did you guys see that? She's trying to turn her head over. Oh, no.
Police believe
Look
the
at that.
father
Look at that.
killed
She
the baby.
trying.
And they
Look
say
at
it
that.
happened inside the home.
What?
Sources tell us a substantial amount of...
No. That's the same thing that those people from Bibb County, those moms from Bibb County, if you guys haven't heard that, it is so disgusting. Bibb County, Alabama. What they found down there in that bunker. That's some twisted stuff. Why do all those bad mothers that do those twisted, sick things, they always want to cover their face when you're walking? Hey, you were proud to walk those children down there, weren't you? Just like she was proud to stand by her man. But now you got caught. And you guys want to hide your face. You want to hide your face when the gig's up.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Liar, pants on fire.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see what else we learn. This is, oh yeah, we still got to come up to the bombshell. I didn't want to put it on the thumbnail.
Blood was found on the carpet inside.
Here it is.
The baby's mother,
Here
Rebecca.
it is. Hold on, let's go back.
And they say it happened inside the home. Sources tell us a substantial amount of blood was found on the carpet inside.
A substantial amount of blood. Now, I'm going to go back to that because, again, what did I tell you would be the only way they would charge these people without a body? Were you guys here for that live? If you were here for that live, please please raise your hand in the chat. Put a thumbs up, put some type of emoji when you were here when we discussed the only way that I thought that they would be able to charge if they were unable to locate the body. Okay, so we've got several people that were in the chat when I said that. And what I told the people here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, the only way that law enforcement will most likely charge these parents with a homicide, with any type of murder, is if they find an area that shows blood or bodily fluid where they know that the person would not be able to survive. And so now we're finding out that this blood stain, this minor blood stain that we heard about was not minor. It clearly was a significant amount of blood and bodily fluid. Oh, Oma, thank you so much. Yes, amen. Amen, hallelujah. Amen, hallelujah. That's what I'm praying for right there. But you know what? I don't know if the leadership of Sumner County Sheriff has pulled their head out of their behind yet. Okay? I'm not sure if they have, because it sounds to me like they haven't done a damn thing for Sebastian Rogers, but waste a whole lot of people's time. They're not even updating anybody. They have no respect for anybody. And you know what? I would be very fearful to try to raise a family in Sumner County when the sheriff, when a whole entire child can go missing, have one of the biggest stories that county has ever been in, and the man has only showed his face one time. That tells me he knows he screwed up the case, and he's too scared to show his face. Why? Because cowards hide. And Sheriff Snuggle Struggles is no different. Sheriff Snuggle Struggles is no different. And I pray to God that we do get resolution for Sebastian Rogers, but we know where those crumbs lead. Oh, excuse me, flashlights lead. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, guys. So now we're learning its significant amount of blood. A significant amount of blood. I'm going to go back to this again because I'm going to shut my mouth so you guys can hear it all.
and one little rip.
Father killed the baby, and they say it happened inside the home. Sources
Thank you,
tell us
Yvonne.
a substantial amount of blood was found on the carpet inside. The baby's mother, Rebecca, first reported Emmanuel missing 8 days ago on August 14th.
Let's watch this.
She said that around 7
piece
p.m.
of
she
crap.
was changing his diaper outside her truck in a retail parking lot when a man came up behind her, attacked her, and knocked her out.
Oh my gosh. We have to, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Abby Blabby. Abby Blabby. Oh my gosh, she did something. Was it on Facebook or was it on TikTok? I think it was Facebook. Oh my gosh, you guys have got to see this. I don't know if you guys see, you know what? I wish they would do one for Katie Proudfoot. A hashtag Katie Proudfoot. Katie Lynn Proudfoot. Blabby. There you are. There you are. Is it on this one? Is it on that one? Which one is it on? She's got two of them. How does she have two? Well, let me just go down. Is this it? Oh, for flip's sakes. Hold on. I have the worst times with any of these mouses on this computer. I'm not sure why. Where is it? Oh, she did this satire. I know I shared it. Did I share it on my channel? Maybe I shared it on my page. It was satire, and I remember saying this is satire, but I got to figure out where I'm on all social media platforms, so it's like you never know where I'm at. I sheriff did a good job there. Oh, here it is. I do. This is from Abby Blabby. Oh my gosh, you guys have to see this. This is no joke. This is freaking hilarious. It's no laughing matter. I mean, I do understand it's no. Thank you, Lisa B. always. It says I don't believe SCSO Sumner County Sheriff's Office collected any forensic evidence at Stafford Court. I have no idea if they did or not. They won't answer any flippin' questions. Arrest Katie Proudfoot. Arrest Chris Proudfoot. Hashtag arrest Katie Proudfoot. Hashtag arrest Chris Proudfoot. Thank you for the super chat. You guys have to watch this. Hold on, let me see if I can move this over. Dad burn it, that's the wrong one. Let me go down here to the screen thing. Oh, I gotta pull it over. Okay, I'll pull it over. Hold on a second. We have to watch this. This is flipping her. This is like, I want to give Abby Blabby like an Oscar. Okay. I'm serious. Oh, maybe I should try to get this off. Am I doing? Hold on a second. I can make this bigger. Give me a second. Dad, burn it. Okay, so that's where we're at. So let's move this up this way. Move this way. Move this way. All right, I think we got it. Now it's going to take me a minute to get it all adjusted back whenever we go back to the regular program. This is hilarious. All right. Okay, we got to turn the volume on.
And somebody said, oh.
Burn it. I didn't want it. Did I go?
Hola, señorita.
I replayed this.
Hola, señorita.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean, but you know, I mean, it was like the story was freaking nuts. It was freaking nuts. Abby Blabby, thank you for that. That literally, I mean, it's hard to laugh because it's such a serious, situation. But I don't even think what I would like to say on here, I can say on here because I'm pretty certain that Sonia will like strangle me. Yeah. She's been working on me and she's like, I finally got it. She's finally doing good. And then boom, I'm just like a freaking nightmare again. All right, let's get this all adjusted. Sorry about that. It was worth the extra work to screw up my my screen here. It was worth it to me. Oops, wrong one. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. All right, so now we got this up. So let's get back to this. Still a lot of great stuff that we are finding out. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, nothing's going to bring this child back, but we now know. Let me go over here and listen to this. But we now know what's going on. How did they think that lie? You know, I really do believe they thought about this and they thought it through on how they were going to try to play this off. I think it took a little while before they finally went one way. But I think they knew it was going to be an uphill battle to report the child abducted. That's why so many people don't like it. Brings it's just a whole lot more scrutiny, you know, stuff. So that's why many people say the child just ran away. But with the abduction, since she had the injury, I think they truly thought they would be able to sell it. The problem is investigators are investigators. Bodies heal the way they're going to heal, and bodies typically heal at the same rate. Some may heal a little quicker than others, but that's why there's a range there. And I didn't know it, but, you know, I learned from my audience, if you have a black eye, you're going to know that that black eye is old. And I've seen black eyes. I've never personally had a black eye, but I know what the people in my chat told me, and they told me that there is no way that that black eye was recent. And the specific words they used is, if you have a black eye, you know that that black eye is not recent. And as a matter of fact, upon further looking at her face, it looked like she had double black eyes. And so this was much further healed than what we once originally thought. There's no way she would be producing a black eye this quickly after the attack. And so that was supported by a lot of documentation on Google. Hey, Tahara. And then I was thinking about your name, and I'm like, okay, she told me it's Tahara. Now, is it Tahara or Tahara? So I'm going to go with Tahara. If it's Tahara, put a thumbs up. If it's not, put a thumbs down, and I'll start calling you Tahara. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting close. We're getting close. We're getting close. I'm glad those parents have no brains, because the world could see it was from the minute. You know what? When I looked back on it, because we didn't really know whether the information was true or not, the one thing that got me was, well, Floor, they were both talking past tense. Like, this child was already gone. We haven't gotten to the most bombshell and heartbreaking part of this story yet. I want to get to it now. Let's just go ahead and get through this, because there's a lot packed into this 5-minute clip here. And this is about to be the most heartbreaking part of all of it. And you know what? I tell you, violence is what gets us covering these stories, so I will never believe in violence, okay? If you have to defend yourself, that's one thing, but I will never believe or condone violence or vigilante justice by any stretch of the imagination. It goes against the core of what the Bullhorn Betty channel is all about. But I gotta tell you, it doesn't take away our feelings. It doesn't take away our anger. It doesn't take away the wanting to do something. You know, it's just controlled. And I gotta tell you, this case right here, I truly, I could see myself just reaching out and wanting to touch someone. You know, in this case, you know you can't do it. But I get why these cases are a little harder. That's all I'm saying. They're just a little harder for me to deal with. Grave Crime with Grace just gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Grave Crime with Grace thank you. And for the 5 beautiful new members of the coveted Bullhorn Betty everybody membership. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. Michael Redman, got that? Who is it? Back on the track with Cat? Cat time out? Grace 54 and Get Lockered. It is nice to see you and welcome aboard. Oh, that's really sweet. Yes. Congratulations, new members. Congratulations. All right. Bombshell stuff. Bombshell stuff.
When she woke up, she said, Emmanuel was gone.
I woke up right here on the floor.
All right. I've got to find the one that's Boo. Do I have a Boo? Do I have a Boo? Don't I have a Boo? That'll work. That'll work. Let's do it one more time. No, just one more time. All right, I'm not a violent person.
And I didn't see Emmanuel. If you know anything, please come and bring my son back. Please, I'm begging you. If anyone knows anything.
Police reportedly found inconsistencies in Rebecca Haro's story almost immediately and confronted her about it. From there, everything went south. Police said Rebecca stopped talking.
Here it is.
Investigators searched the parents' home,
Guys,
took their
it's
car,
coming.
and issued warrants for all their phones and electronic devices. Child Protective Services took custody of their 2-year-old child.
Here it is.
And Jacob Haro's criminal history quickly came to light.
It's after that.
He was convicted of child cruelty, a felony over serious injuries to a 10-week-old baby girl back in 2018. In fact, a journalist told our own Ashley Banfield last night that the baby girl was hurt so badly she can no longer see, talk, or walk to this day.
Oh,
let's bring in our panel.
Maybe it's after the panel. I might as well go ahead and give you guys a an alert. They threw the baby's clothes out. They threw it away. Remember we were just talking about the dumpster and everything just in a segment, I think it was yesterday or something like that. You're about to learn that they threw his pictures and his clothes away. I think that mother needs to burn in hell, right along with Jake. Sorry, not sorry. It gets sick, y'all.
Of experts now. Kim Dagonia is the former assistant district attorney for Riverside County, California.
We know we know one of them. I just learned, I don't know how I did not know this lady. I still don't remember her name, but she's like Hidden Truth, true crime, podcaster. I never knew who she was. I just met, just came across her or whatever, like in the last day or two. And then, I come here and she's on News Nation. I didn't even, I'm just flabbergasted. And then that's an FBI guy, and I can't remember what the pretty blonde does, but the other pretty blonde. I guess they're both pretty, whatever.
Bobby Chacon is a former FBI special agent, and Lauren Matthias is a journalist and hosted the Hidden True Crime podcast.
What is that? They said Matthias. What's her name? Maybe I should just go back.
Special agent, and Lauren Matthias is a journalist and hosted the Hidden True Crime podcast. Great to have all three of you here. Kim, I'd like to start with you. They've not yet found the baby's body, but they have already charged the parents with murder. How much evidence do you need before you can file charges like this?
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me.
She's the prosecutor. Okay, she's the prior prosecutor. Yeah, Lauren Matthias. I don't know how I didn't know her before. I don't recall ever. Her face doesn't look familiar to me. I mean, it looks familiar now because I just watched her and we just, talked about her and some of the stuff she was saying about this particular case.
me. In a case like this, the standard is probable cause in order to have both parents arrested for the charges of murder. So it sounds like from what your investigation has uncovered that there seems to be quite enough evidence to charge both with murder.
Bobby, parents are both in custody tonight. They will obviously try.
So, if you guys want to know, when they were in front of all these cameras, they were just lying. They were making it up. They were acting. They were trying to appear upset. They couldn't even shed a tear. Like, they watched this child take his last breath, and they couldn't even push a freaking tear out for this baby. They couldn't even try to fake it. It's just, how can you find two of the most coldest, cold-hearted people? Just how? And how do you find them in the sea of so many people? And then procreate a child you clearly didn't want, respect, or love. I just don't understand. I don't know if I will. I've given up trying to understand parts of our humanity a long time ago.
Being held separately, they'll probably try and get one of them to flip and confess, likely the mother, correct?
Exactly, Elizabeth. I mean, we've been down this.
Okay, I think the mom's gonna break. Okay, first of all, I haven't seen anything like the mom's been arrested before. Now maybe she has. I haven't heard it. I haven't seen it for myself. Maybe we will find some things that pop up in her history as people start, digging a little deeper and stuff like that. I'm not sure. But they better not. We're not doing that again. That was a sweetheart deal for a piece of garbage mom. I'm sorry. We're going to have to lean on California. If they try to put this mother or give this mother immunity, you guys in California, they're a proud protest state. I think they'd be out in the street for this baby. I'm not really worried about that. California's pretty, they don't really push it back. I mean, especially if it's going to be a lawful, not craziness. You guys are advocating. There's no need. Listen, this is the way I look at it. There should never, ever, ever be any type of violence at a protest for a missing child, a deceased child, or a deceased person or anything like that, because the reason why we're there is because of violence, okay? We can't say that we're here, and we wish all this stuff would stop when the first thing that we personally think of is violence or perpetrate violence, So it's one of those things. And I just think that, I don't know. This is just...
road before. You pick out which one you think you'll have the most success putting pressure on, and that in this case, because of his prior history, I think it would be the mother, and she's obviously
the father's the one with the prior history.
Right, and the mother would be the one that you would put the pressure on, but it's her child as well. So I think that's exactly what the strategy.
You know what? I keep thinking she would break, but I was, You're dealing with a different type of woman here, though. We have to still apply that she's abused. He's going to have her under his control even when he's not around her. Yes, they were booked. I haven't seen any booking photos yet. I don't think that they have to charge them for 48 hours. They may be withholding charges. I mean, we don't know what they're doing. I haven't seen any mugshot. We did learn from the press release from law enforcement that they are being charged with suspicion of murder. I guess that's what they're being held on, suspicion of murder. So we may be saying arrested, but they keep saying suspicion of murder, and I don't know if suspicion of murder is a crime. That's what. So I think it might be a detainer. I think they might be in the 48-hour detainer area where they're going to hold them until they have to charge them. Who knows? They might just be trying to apply some pressure here. But we're starting to hear some stuff about the grandma. And I have to, you know what? We have to understand. We just heard from this douchebag's attorney, okay? And what did that attorney say? Not that I'm calling the attorney a douchebag. I'm calling Jake a douchebag, and I'm going to call him a douchebag. I don't know what to call him, but I'm not calling him sir, okay? When his attorney came out, they played the guilt trip, right? We even made I think it's right here. We even made there it is. We even made a thumbnail, guilt trip. Because he's laying it on thick for us, right? He's saying, oh my gosh, my clients, their car was taken. Well, I have been glued to this story. You know, when it comes to our little babies, I work around the clock to try to find stuff. And so I'm glued to this. Lo and behold, I'm seeing videos, footage from out in front of their house from variety of different news organizations, showing them coming and going, showing them going in and getting groceries, showing them going to, you know, fast food joints, and you can see they're carrying fast food. Of course, the people are yelling across the fence, you know, asking them questions that they don't want to answer. But there was a red SUV there, and I saw Grandma getting out. So you're telling me that, you know, attorney here doesn't mind giving us a whole guilt trip on how they're, you know, kind of treed in their own house, so to speak, right? They can't leave. The media is too much pressure for them. They can't even walk outside of their home. I get so sick of hearing that. I really don't care. Like, you know, when it comes to me, they like this dude. I think the people were very nice and peaceful, right? I would have been a lot louder. I'm just saying, I would have. I'd have been a lot louder. So I just don't understand how we're supposed to have this guilt trip about how they're jammed up at the home, have no ride, and we constantly are seeing Grandma over there. Now we're hearing rumors from Uvalde, right? The Uvalde Foundation put out an X post, or maybe it was a Facebook post, I'm not sure what it is, looking right at the grandma, saying, wait a minute here. You guys need to be looking at Grandma. What do you guys think about that? I missed some things. Let me go through here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Queen of Hype says, can we finally get a rest for hashtag Chris Proudfoot and hashtag Katie Proudfoot? Amen. Oma, South Carolina says, KP next. I get it. I don't believe SCSO collected any forensic evidence at Stafford Court. Hashtag arrest Katie Proudfoot. Hashtag arrest Chris Proudfoot. Hello. I'm glad. And I'll say Tahara, I'm glad those parents had no brain because the world could see it. It was bullshit from day dot. I think you meant day one. Grave Crime with, I missed a couple. Grave Crime with Grace gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. We already congratulated them. I missed Melanie's. So Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie thank you. And for the person that received your coveted Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket in the padded room and welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. And Tahara, it's nice to see you. Thank you for becoming the newest member of this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket in your padded room. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All right, so let's get back to... This family has a history with the system. They stay tight with the family. I know. I wanted to. I get it. But it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. You know, and it perpetuates the cycle. It's a nonstop perpetuation of this family, this corrupted family cycle, right? And you know what I heard? And I can't remember what case it was. It was one of our cases. And maybe it might have been the Soto case because I think... Like the mom's Hispanic maybe, or the grandma's Hispanic or something like that. But we were having a conversation, and I didn't realize that they had, I was just taking another case. I don't really look at ethnicity or really pay too much attention to that. And somebody had brought up in my chat that she believes that they're Hispanic because they were Hispanic. They're Hispanic. And they said something to me like, in our culture, we cover, we shovel a lot under the rug. And so I keep wondering, is this a culture that maybe needs to be broken? If that is the culture, I remember it was something, it may not have been the Soto case, but it happened live here on the channel. It was in the chat when all of this happened. It was all public and everything like that. I just can't remember it. And I know somebody probably remembers it, but it just weighs on you. It's in your mind. It's in your mind. Okay, let's get back to the last bit of this story.
At this point is going to be, I'll really go with both of them hard and see if you can get some cooperation.
Lauren, sources tell News Nation not only that there was a lot of blood inside the home, but that all the photos of Emmanuel had been removed from the house. All the baby's clothing had been thrown away. How long do we think this baby...
Wow. That's the most heartbreaking. They literally just killed this baby and then tried to throw everything away about him as if he didn't exist. I don't know if there's words to describe how I feel about parents like that. I mean, like, it's... I don't know. This case got me. This case has really bothered me. It bothered me from the beginning because I felt like the mom was trying too hard. She was trying so hard to convince us that guy attacked her. I was none the wiser. A black eye's a black eye. I didn't know how long it took to get. I mean, I do know that your face is kind of red first. I knew that, but I didn't know how soon after the redness would the bruising start setting in. And I didn't know, with the interview, how far in conjunction with the altercation that she was on the news, because it sounded like 24 hours. I didn't know if that was the beginning stages of it. But now that we're here a week and we see her face, we know that it's almost healed now. And it's only been a week. There's no possibility because it takes more than 10 days to heal a black eye. So this was more than 10 days old. And we believe that she sustained the black eye, or at least it was visible. Her black eye was visible on August 3rd. We know, and if you guys weren't here for this morning's show, here's also some interesting news that you may or may not know. It is true. It is 100% true that they visited that Big 5 store. The problem is the detail was slightly inaccurate. So somebody had said that they went there a week previously. A week previously. It wasn't a week previously. According to Cinema Shogun, it was earlier in the month. So when it's put like that, it kind of implies that it was more than a week. And I think that is significant. I think that's super, super significant. So many similarities. There's a lot of similarities with this one. There's a lot. I mean, I can see a lot of different cases in this one. Summer Wells, Jaden Spicer. I can just see a lot of different cases in it. And I forgot what I was. Maybe I'll get back on here. And then they go and throw the photos away. I forgot where I was just at, and I just went onto a tangent, and it just
lost track.
Sorry.
I think that we are suspecting actually quite a long time, according to, the true crime podcasting community. They have been speculating when the last time Emmanuel was seen. We're hearing various dates, some even saying as early as August 3rd.
There it is. Okay, so I was up the right alley when I was going down that line. So, August 3rd. And so we're looking at this. Could that have been, August 3rd, August 4th? And guys, I'm still not convinced that with all of this planning and stuff, like they would have went to Big Five shortly after she received that black eye. And so we still have to look at the funeral of the 5th. I'm sorry. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I promise you I'm not. But how interesting that they just happen to have a hollow hole in and around the time that their son is murdered. How lucky can one person be when you're in a situation like that? Can you imagine not having to go out and dig the hole and knowing it's 6 feet under and knowing about big box is about to be lowered down on it? Yes, she is, Michael. Yeah. Yeah. But can you imagine? I mean, come on. No, we saw photos of a burial site. I saw the bars. I saw the silver bars in the photo I was sent. Because they have this thing that you put the casket on and it's lowered down, and that little thing that sits down by the ground that has the silver metal bars, that looked like it was going in the ground. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to answer that, because the photo I was sent of a funeral where she was at with a gob of makeup on, it looked like somebody was going in the ground. They had the tent set up and everything. Somebody might have to look into that for me, because I'm under that impression. And if it's not, I'm going to need receipts, because the receipts I got might be just a little bit different. I want to make sure maybe somebody sent me a photo of a different funeral. Maybe it was maybe they got it mixed up with another one. I don't know. Because we have to remember, I also heard rumors that, and again, rumors, I want to make sure everybody knows when I say, for anybody that's new to my channel, if you guys hear me say I heard rumors, that means it's not coming from me. I don't know it. If I tell you that this is factual, then it's factual. If I say that I tell you guys where the information come. I always put the disclaimer on, do your own research. But we have different things. Where's the baby at the video? I'm just saying, somebody did send it to me. Somebody sent me the theory, and I thought about it. I'm like, this is kind of wild and really far out there, like far-fetched a little bit on every other case that I've covered. Because, we've talked about somebody digging up, going into the cemetery to hide a body or whatever. We hear that often, and it's not that we don't check. It's not like I'm blowing it off. I've checked many cemeteries and many graveyards, 3 just in the Summer Wells case. So it's not like but I've always thought it was a long shot. This was the only one that I actually thought that there was a possibility of this being true, because let's face it, we believe the kid was murdered on the 3rd, and she's at a funeral with double black eyes and a caked makeup on the 5th. And that if somebody's going in the ground, that hole is dug by the grave digger 24 or 48 hours in advance, and they usually put something over it, like a rug, or it's not, when I say a rug, it's not like a rug from your house. It's like a grass rug, so it blends in, so it's not noticeable when people come to visit another grave, but it is prepared. It's not prepared hours before the funeral. It's prepared a day or more before the funeral. So this is the only time I've ever looked at this, a case like this, and actually entertained that this could be a viable path. And would they be clever enough to think of it at the time? I don't know, but I did always feel that they wouldn't throw this child in the garbage can, that they would, find some comfort in, as sick and twisted as it is, to give them this child a burial, And So I hope they find him. But for the first time, I'm hearing multiple people, though, bring up the grandma. And I gotta be honest with you, that's a little concerning for me, especially seeing her getting out of the red SUV. Whose red SUV is that? Is that grandma's car? Because if that's grandma's car, I find it awfully funny that they had wheels when their attorney's up here giving us the guilt trip about how they can't help search because they don't have wheels. Well, then what is Grandma doing there? Okay, it's Grandma's car. Thank you, Shack Lady. Huh. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. The grandma never asked where the baby was at all. Interesting. The red SUV is grandma's. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But it just goes to prove to you that the crap that the attorney was telling us was a guilt trip, because they do have wheels, clearly. So what that means, if they chose not to help search, it was a conscious effort by all of them, including Grandma. Just saying. What horrible, despicable people. Threw his clothes out, threw his pictures out, and murdered the little 7-month-old baby. Tried to wipe him off the face of the earth and erase him from history. That, to me, is pretty sick. That, to me, is pretty stinking sick. Pretty stinking sick. I like this. I watched Vinnie Politan. We're going to watch the first few minutes of his... Actually, I can get past his intro. I want you guys to hear kind of his prelude.
Has now resulted in investigators looking at the parents. Here's the story. Little baby Emmanuel Haro is just 7 months old. His mom, Rebecca, says she went to the sporting goods store and was in the parking lot trying to change his diaper when she was attacked and knocked out cold. When she came to, baby Emmanuel was nowhere to be found. How could a child abduction take place in such a public place? But yet, no one saw anything. Not one witness, not one video. Now, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is investigating, and the focus of their investigation seems to have shifted to Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca, who now have a criminal defense lawyer representing them. Where is baby Emmanuel?
I don't know if they have a criminal defense attorney representing them. I know that Jake has an attorney representing him. And you know what I heard? Now, this is weird because I could have swore I saw a man speaking on Rebecca's behalf, but I never saw it again, and I can't remember where I found it. And it seemed like he was her attorney. He did come after, he seemed like a much nicer, soft-spoken guy. But he came after Jake's attorney on a completely different channel. I saw it. I still can't remember. I have to go back through my history, because I could have sworn I saw an attorney representing Rebecca give an interview somewhere. But I could be wrong. And this is before their arrest. But then everybody started passing around that Rebecca didn't have an attorney. And I keep wondering if that's true, that it's Jake that got the attorney. And it was after I already said Jake's throwing her under the bus, which I truly believe he will throw her under the bus. He's a piece of garbage. He's a violent man that thinks he can, he's checkmate, guys, okay? Jake is checkmate, okay? He is never going to see the light of day again. I am absolutely confident in the state of California, in San Bernardino, and in the jury pool that they will ultimately have. I am ultimately confident that Jake will never see the light of day again. Okay, I'm ultra confident. Wherever he goes, whatever he does, whatever courts he is, wherever venue is, I really don't care. Whoever, whatever he is charged with, he's going to spend the rest of his days behind bars. I just truly believe that. It's in my, maybe I'm manifesting it, maybe it's, but it's in my heart, body, mind, and soul. He's done. He's done. I don't know so much about Rebecca yet. I've got a lot to learn about her, but as far as I'm concerned, I no matter what, you know, all craziness, you know, political stuff set aside, I just don't, I know that the California people are human beings. You know, they love one another. This is one of their children. This is a baby, okay? I don't give a patootie who you are. I don't care where you come from. You know, I'm sorry. You're going to listen to the evidence when it comes to a baby, okay? You are going to make a decision for yourself. I believe in the people of California, and I believe this man is going to spend the rest of his life in jail, okay? Period. I pray to God that they actually bring back DP for this case, because I don't see anybody deserving, even if symbolic, than Jake Haro. Even if symbolic. Even if symbolic. That's how I feel. But you know that, because we deal with the scummiest, grimiest people of this world is debuted on true crime content creators' channels. The worst of the worst. Trust me, when I say I want DP, I truly mean it. Because I don't want these people living next to me, and I don't want them living next to you either. Just saying.
Emmanuel, and who is responsible for the disappearance of this precious little boy? You know, watching this story as it's developed has reminded me of many other stories that we've covered.
If you guys haven't hit up Vinnie Politan, I didn't realize that, you know, I did today, that there is Court TV, and he also has his own personal channel. If you guys would like to go, I mean, I'm on the Court TV side, but if you guys would like to go research or go type in Vinnie Politan up in the search bar, and he has his own, and they do a lot of stuff. I'm a big fan of Vinnie, and they do a lot of stuff. And now that he has his own channel, he kind of, you know, he has an opportunity to be a little more engaging with his audience, and I really truly think you guys will enjoy it. If you guys are true crime junkies, you guys know Court TV is what brought the courtroom to us. I mean, I don't know where you got your interest in true crime, but I have been watching Court TV since they've been going into the courtrooms. I think many of us have been watching Court TV going into the courtrooms. This is one of the mainstream media places. You know, I don't have a lot to say about mainstream media. I'll tell you that right now. I don't really have. You guys hear me day in and day out, but I always talk about the few mainstream media that I highly, and I mean highly respect. Vinnie Politan, Nancy Grace, Brian Enton. These are all people that I highly respect and highly regard. So you never hear me say anything about them. Actually been watching them since I was a kid. Guys, I'm becoming an old lady, okay? TV's been around too damn long. But I like the way he breaks it down. Of course, everybody likes how Vinnie breaks it down because he's awesome. So if you guys have not seen this, we're only going to take probably or discuss the first, I think, 5 or 6 minutes of this program. I recommend you guys watching the entire thing. There is the link right there, YouTube, that I just dropped. Please go and save that and watch that for later.
and the dynamics. There was a case out in California, the Cal City toddlers, very similar to that in the way we first learned about the story and we learned about the disappearance of the child.
Yeah.
In that case, it was the mother and father came out and were telling their story and answering questions.
Many, if you don't know what he's referring to Orrin and Orson West, okay? It's the ones that are referred to as classic and sincere. These are the West. Jacqueline and Trezell West were charged with second-degree murder, okay? The boys were allegedly killed at separate times. They were able to get a hard second-degree murder on one of the children for both of them. I think they were unable to reach for the second one. I can't remember. I remember there was some weird thing that went on with sentencing, but they are spending the rest of their life in jail. And when we were discussing this case, and a lot of the cases that we discuss, because we like to show how behaviors, because I truly believe people... and you know, I agree with the professionals that people grieve differently, but I also try to tell people that is a defense mechanism. That is something that is put in our mind to believe that. But at the end of the day, when people grieve even differently, they're still grieving. And the people, the women, the men that we see on our show, such as this yahoos right here, Rebecca and Jake. Then we got Trezell and Jacqueline. We got Chris and Katie. None of them have ever grieved. Prove me wrong. Send me some receipts of her grieving. None of them have grieved. None of them had urgency. They were just fine with everything. These are all classic telltale signs of piece of garbage parents. Without a doubt, hands down. You know? It sucks. These kids deserve better. And somebody just sent me a video earlier today. Or maybe it was yesterday. Or maybe it was the day before. Days run together. You know what I'm saying? Days run together. Next thing I know, the week's gone. And I'm like, oh, shit. Another week gone. Another week bites the dust. And it was an autistic teenager got into an argument with his family, and his family literally drove off and left him on the side of the road. And that child was terrified. I don't think we have any idea what these autistic children go through in some of these households. You know, we have people like Mr. and Mrs. E, and we see how amazing and lovely they are, you know, and they've got, you know, one autistic child that was never supposed to speak. And I tell you, he walked up to me and said, "Hi, Betty." They told that family their child would never speak. And because they love their child, they've gone through all the ups and downs, worked with therapists. Their son can speak. And now they have one that's, you know, obviously fighting for his life right now. But we see those type of parents, and we want to believe that all these children that are going through these things, you know, whether they have autism or cancer or something else that they're battling, you think they have parents like the E's. But there's a lot of times that we're giving these parents entirely too much credit. Entirely too much credit. And it's sad to say, but these poor children that have disabilities, we need to pay closer attention to them, because sometimes a lot of them may be suffering in silence, and we never know until it's too late, until we find out that there's a child on the side of the road wanting to know where his mommy and daddy is because they took off and left him. Or in a situation where you see flashlights in the middle of the night going to an unknown car and you never see the child again. Or the proverbial, you know, Spanish man sneaking up behind you, beating the crap out of you, knocking you unconscious and stealing your baby out of the vehicle. Just to name a few. It's sad. It's sad. So we need to start doing better as a community, in my opinion. I think if you know, this whole thing about not wanting to get into people's business, you know what? Ain't nobody stopping anybody from getting in yours. So be nosy, right? To each their own. It's like always the pot calling the kettle black. Everybody's all up in your business, but you never up in anybody else's. That's some bullshit, you know. That's all I'm saying. We need to be making sure if we know that there is a disabled child in our community, we should probably pay an extra close attention to them. If we know a mom just had a baby, we might want to start paying a little close extra attention to them. There's a reason why these yahoos moved out in the middle of nowhere. Okay? There wasn't a whole lot of people out there. Yet they're able to afford a $300,000 house. Is that grandma's house or is that their house? Like, I want to know these things. Like, I want to know every aspect of these people's lives. Why? Because we have a missing child, and somewhere in all of those details lies the truth and where this child may be. Because these parents are not going to be moving around in areas that they're uncomfortable with. They're going to be moving around in areas that they are comfortable with, that they know they can bury a body or do something to a body. And God forbid if I heard some of the twisted rumors that I heard could possibly be true. As far as new tools purchased by Rebecca, I swear before God, the Christian folks are going to have to leave the room because the foul type of language that will be coming out of my mouth is no joke. It's literally no joke. I heard some things today, and by God, I pray to God they are not right. But if they are, I am forewarning my audience right now. If I find out that this one thing is accurate, my Christian folks will have to, and I'm truth. My Christian folks will have to leave. You guys would not be able to handle my mouth. I think it would be probably the most colorful language. I think I would even blush. So I'm praying to God they find this young boy and they find this young boy intact, because there is some rumors I'm hearing that could be a hell of a lot worse than our worst nightmare. And I pray to God that Jake and Rebecca aren't this freaking twisted. But if they are, my Christian folks, I may just have to kick you out of my chat so I can tell the world my feelings. Because again, all I've got is my words. That's the only thing I got. I don't have the ability to make somebody do something. I don't have the ability to force my will on others. I don't have the ability to do anything but control myself, my actions, my anger, my emotions. And I only have a few outlets for that. And my outlet is my mouth. I have a big old fat mouth, and I got a country that supports freedom of speech. Look out. That's what I'm saying. Look out. That's what I have. That's my lethal weapon. Ask hashtag Chris Proudfoot and hashtag Katie Proudfoot, because allegedly my mouth is so dangerous, they're scared for their life. And I'm not joking. 2 military people. I'm literally 5 foot nothing. I'm a little thick. Okay, I can handle my own. I mean, I can understand why Chris is a little scared of me. I gotta be honest with you. You know? I can understand why he's scared. I bet you he knows I know how to use my knee. I didn't need to threaten him with any, weapons. My biggest weapon is my mouth. And he's scared of my mouth. That should tell you how important my mouth. Well, I think we should get off that. That could really be twisted someplace else. Good. You guys are so dirty. I already hear where your minds are going. Maybe I need to figure my words. How about that? Okay, I got my words. All right, I'm getting with it. You know, if it wasn't for you Friday freaks, Guys got a little sauce in ya? Huh? Yeah? You guys got some dirty minds. I'm just saying. Some of you need Jesus. I'm just saying. Some of you need a little dose of Jesus. Your minds are too perverted for Betty. Your minds are just too perverted.
Well, the same thing happened in this case. Baby Emmanuel, gone. Mom and dad standing out there, and I don't think they necessarily spent a lot of time in front of cameras and microphones and the media and the public, etc., but telling their story and answering some questions. So let's begin there. Let's take a look.
Yeah, we're not going back there. I just wanted you to hear what he had to say there. I got another one. Oh, this one's good. This was before the arrest. Remember how they went to court? They wanted to go to court to try to get their baby because she was taken out of their custody? Well, they show up for court. They don't look too happy. Doesn't sound like they're getting their kid back.
Missing baby, 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. His parents have been arrested for murder. I'm Philip Palmer.
And I'm Colleen Sullivan. Let's get right to Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan with all the details. Rob?
Right. Well, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, along with help from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, out here all morning long investigating at the home of that couple. Let's see if we can push in here to where you can see the forensics team back there investigating. You know, it was just about this time last week. We were standing there on the front porch talking with the parents as they were making an emotional plea for help, claiming their child had been kidnapped. Now, precisely 1 week later, both of them under arrest on suspicion of murder. 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, now presumed dead.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say it each and every time this photo comes up. Just because there's a lot of people in here that watch me all the time, and there's a lot of people in here that don't. This is by far the most heartbreaking photo that I witness out of all of these. One of many. The other one is where he looks absolutely terrified. He's kind of on his side, and you can see, looks like somebody grabbed him and shook him. Because you can see the bruise marks. Because these are piece of garbage parents that I will just... Some days I wish we had laws that allowed us just to smack, you know, smack a hoe. There we go.
Dead. The boys' parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, now under arrest, accused of murder. Sheriff's deputies sealing off the entire property as investigators search for clues as to what really happened to the baby. This all starting when the boy's parents reporting him.
I keep wondering what that little girl witnessed. And I keep wondering, you know, how advanced is she? Does she know how to, you know, speak? Does she, you know, because she's still young too, and it makes you wonder, you know, is she kind of, because you got to think, I mean, he's an abusive man. How many times has he smacked her in the head? I mean, you know, it's hard for me. It's hard for me because she's up and she's alert and she looks normal and fine, but, you know, how do we know? That doesn't mean nothing.
Kidnapped at a Big 5 parking lot more than a week ago in Yucaipa. The day after their report, the mother...
Ugh. The fake face, the fake tears, the fake story, the hoax. I mean, come on. It wasn't even that good. I mean, why did they... I don't...
They're making this tearful plea for her boy to be...
I mean, once the child's gone, I mean, like, really, what do you do? There's nothing... They should have called the cops. They should have done, you know, all they did was just... This is what the problem is. These parents, when they do this stuff, they think that they're going to be able to get away with it. They think that they've covered all their stuff, you know? And it's so frustrating because they come out here, they play the victim, and then they don't understand why nobody believes them. Because we've heard it all before. We've heard it all before. And when we don't see genuine actions and genuine emotion and genuine urgency, we sniff that crap out. And when we don't see it, We know you're full of crap because you can't fake that. That's what these idiots don't understand. You can't fake it. It's raw, uncontrollable, inconsolable emotion. That's how we know. And when you do find somebody that can do that, they're a psychopath. If they're convicted, if they are guilty and they were able to dupe us and they were able to show us that raw emotion and play us like a fiddle, then they're most likely a psychopath. Or sociopath. Whatever. She was beaten for years by men. She's used to violence. Women don't get like this overnight. Obviously, the women he selected were all probably, desperate women that, felt low about themselves, that had low self. These are what the guys look for. They find easy prey, and he just happens to find like the most pitiful women, like this woman. She's had other children. She doesn't care about children, because if she cared about children, she would have a good connection with her other children. Unfortunately, one thing you can't get a degree in, and you can't, you either have maternal instincts or you don't. And if you don't have maternal instincts, do something so you don't have children. All these children's lives ruined, all of them. Her older children lost their mother a long time ago. Now she's going to jail for the rest of her life. Look at all the children and the abuse in the wake of Jake. We're talking about 5 children just with him, and that's what we know of. We know with her, it's 4 or more. All of these children, all of them, they're either abused or left by these 2 POSs. Just too much. It's just too much.
Morning, it is breaking news. Sheriff's deputies are at the home of a missing 7-month-old baby, and his parents are now under arrest on suspicion of murder. KCAL reporter Rick Montanez is live in Cabazon with the latest developments. Rick, what can you tell us?
I know, Big Mac Mike.
Well, right now I can tell you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have maternal instincts for my cats. Like, how do you, like, I understand. Like, trust me, I understand that babies cry, okay? I get that when you give birth to a child, for the first few months of this child's life, they are utterly dependent on you, and they need to be fed every 2 hours, whether you like it or not. They need to be fed. They have to be, burped and changed, and some of them are colicky, some of them aren't feeling good. They're learning things, and all they know how to do is cry, poop, pee, eat, cry, poop, pee, eat. It's just, I understand it's frustrating. It can get under your skin. But how in the hell can you hurt a baby? I don't understand the people that could ever hurt a baby. I understand exhaustion in many people. We've got millions of children all over the world that kept their parents up at night every night, and they are happy and healthy and love their mommy and daddy and probably heading off to college. How can you not handle it? And if you can't handle it, why are you with child? In this day and age, back before the 60s, it was a scarlet letter. You were almost shamed if you weren't taking care of your kids and you were a woman. almost shamed. You were ostracized. Even when your POS ex-husband, cheating, lying, left you, they expected you to be mom and take care of those kids. And you had no excuse. And God forbid if you couldn't do it, you were even lower than the scarlet letter. Okay, in 2025, it's not like that. We literally have bins at hospitals and fire departments for you to drop off your unwanted baby with literally zero judgment. And we still have parents killing their infants. Make that make sense for me. What are we doing wrong? You know? But it's not a scarlet letter anymore. As a matter of fact, many people understand the pressures of being parents, and if you don't want that pressure, we alleviate that for you. And I just don't understand why in the world we still over and over and over again keep having either teenagers dumping babies in garbage cans or crap like this where you have mommy and daddy beating the crap out of the child until the child's no longer. And then they try to hide and lie about it. And then they're like, why doesn't anybody believe me? 'Cause you're guilty as shit. That's why nobody believes you. Just saying. Good gracious. Good gracious.
Tell you this is the news that so many in this community have been waiting for, dreading to hear, of course, because this is not good news for that missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. So you're looking now at the house where his parents were arrested.
Oh, and by the way, is Sonia in the chat? I forgot to tell her I was going live. Hopefully Sonia's in the chat. Go ahead and pull me 6 names. Just to be on the safe side, and put them in she's not in the chat. Shoot. Is she awake? No. Oh, no. Okay. We're going to have to wait until tomorrow. No. Don't text her. She's still recovering, guys. She needs sleep. Let her have sleep. Okay, well then what we'll do is I'll get 6 names from her next time, and when we come back here, what it is we're giving away a Bullhorn Betty hat, and she does the wheel thingy. She has all that stuff. So we do giveaways, and typically if we don't reach our goal throughout the week by Friday, I give away the item that we have been trying to give away all week. The problem is when we do the drawing, you have to be in the chat. You have to be in the chat at the time of drawing to get your prize. So we ended up giving, that we had the drawing this morning on this morning's live. 3 people, and none of the 3 people were in the chat. So it ended up rolling over to tonight's show, and I was going to do more of a early evening show versus a late night show. And this is not really kind of late night, kind of is, but it's late night for Bullhorn Betty. And so we're doing this, so I was hoping to be able to have it, but she's relaxing, and it's okay. So we'll end up figuring it out tomorrow, but I'll have 6 names pulled tomorrow, and hopefully at least somebody will be in the chat that's going to be getting their free Bullhorn Betty hat, and that's mailed directly to your home. And Sonia takes care of all that. She has the shirt business. And also, this is just a shout out for Sonia. She ships, I don't even know if I have one of her packets. Yes, I do. So she ships, let me put myself on the big screen real quick, so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, that's a big head. So she, in the package, she sends this. Now, mind you, your package typically has stickers of all the missing people that we're covering. Right now we're covering 3 main people out of Tennessee. And those people are Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, Layla Santinello, and Holland Snap. So these are going all over the country, along with, little bookmarkers with Bible verses. Another bookmark with Bible verses. Comes with your cleaning and a little pamphlet. But what I love the most about it is every package you buy from Sonia, it has stickers of missing persons on it. Stickers of missing people. What? So, you know how once upon a time we had the milk cartons and stuff like that where people could see that? Well, now, every time you buy something from Sonia, she basically puts these flyers now on the packages on stickers so that the mail people have to look at them while they're out in the community. So for every single thing you buy from her and she sends to you, you are actually helping spread the word of a missing child. Now, that's a win-win if I've ever heard it. And you don't have to just buy BHB swag. She owns a shirt shop, so you have endless ideas. Do you have that special saying? Or, she also sent me a matching outfit with Delilah. So now Delilah and Delilah has her doggy shirt and I have my adult shirt. Tell me that's not cute. So you could actually get a matching doggy outfit for all you ladies that love your poochie. You can be gal paladin in style. You can be gal paladin in style. So I just wanted to say that. I thought, I like the idea. We all help one another out. She's helping spread the word through this creative, shipping thing. And I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful idea. And if you so chose, you can actually, every time you order, you can take these cards out. And you know how you can spread the word? Because these are laminated. You can go stick this up at your local Walmart, in the bathroom, at a gas station. You can literally place this anywhere for somebody else to see it. That is the power of coming together. And one little thing, just as simple as this, can really change a lot. So hopefully you guys, we only support good companies here that do the right. And with Sonia, it's a perfect fit. So hopefully you guys reach out to her. All right, guys. Well, that's really all we have today. I'm going to finish this up. And then, like I said, I was going to get the person that was going to get the hat, but Sonia's not here, so we'll save it for tomorrow.
This morning, we've confirmed that with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. This is all taking place here on Ramona Street in Cabazon, and there are a lot of people here to see what is happening. We have some new video, some drone video to show you of the investigation underway here this morning. Sometime after 7 a.m., deputies moved into the home in what witnesses describe as a raid on the property. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies confirmed to KCAL News they arrested Jake and Rebecca Haro this morning, the parents of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. Remember a week ago, Thursday evening, Rebecca had reported she was attacked in Yucaipa and her baby was kidnapped. She said she was punched and did not see the person who attacked her. Investigators said there were inconsistencies in her story and that she and Jake, the father, had stopped cooperating with detectives. Well, it also came out that Jake Haro had a prior conviction for willful child cruelty from a few years ago. I heard people this morning here thanking deputies, saying they are grateful to see justice will be served.
Just miserable. He's so unhappy and miserable. You can see it in his eyes. He's just gone. I don't know. I can't with this case. It's horrible for me. So hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about what all charges. We know that they're not just going to be charged with murder. I mean, there's so many, they've lied to law enforcement so much. They're going to have some child abuse in there. They're going to have some, lying to law enforcement. So they might be held on the suspicion of murder, but they have a whole host of things that they can now charge them with. From everything I heard about the video out there where they actually saw her fall to the ground, that's what I'm hearing, that they actually have the video of her getting out of her car and falling to the ground. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyways, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. If you guys want to know what the breaking news was, it is that it appears the family threw away all the photos and the clothes for baby Emmanuel prior to them being arrested. They tried to erase him. Literally erase him. I am so thankful they were unsuccessful. All right, guys, take care.